What's up, guys? On today's episode we're going to do a short little review of the Piscifun Phantom and a breakdown of it to let you guys see what the inside of it looks like, so stay tuned. Alright, so we'll get right into this. What I've got is a right-handed Piscifun Phantom. And this is the first Phantom I've ever used. I also have a CX Elite on the way that I will break down for you guys. They're really close in design, but in the box, of course, you get the reel. You get a reel cover, which is nice. No other company I've ever bought a reel from sends you a reel cover with the reel. You get a vinyl sticker if you want to put that on your boat or boxes. And the more important thing that I love about these reels is that in the box you get a schematic of the entire reel piece by piece. No other company I've ever bought a reel from has also done this either, including Abu Garcia and Luz. And you can get these parts, which you cannot do with most other reels. Some other reels I've tried to fix or work on, I ask them for parts. They are not able to get most of those parts. You have to buy another reel. So, and I looked on their website, there's actually a parts list, a parts catalog on there, so you can get these parts, which is nice. And also, if you ever have to take it apart, this tells you how to put it back together. So, first thing I notice about this reel is that it's extra light. This reel is super light. It's got carbon side plates on it on both sides. It is 3 pieces. You've got a carbon reel handle. I don't know if you can see it there, but it should glimmer a little bit for you. And these reel handles are pretty dang cool. They're cushioned and they're lime green, which is pretty dang awesome, especially to go with my green Enigma rods. So the spool in this, you'll see it better when I get it taken apart, but the spool in this is all machined, and that's one reason it's extremely lightweight, because they have machined more material out of this than what other reels usually do. Because to be honest, you don't need all of that material in there, because I mean, you're not going to be doing something that heavy with it. So we will go ahead and start taking this thing apart. I'm not going to take it all the way apart, but I'll take it apart enough for you to see the insides and how this thing's built. So the first thing this one does is, like most other reels, it's got a button on the bottom, and the magnetic brake will come off. Standard magnetic brake. Most, probably 95% of the other reel companies use this. Now here is the spool. Now what's awesome about this spool that a lot of other companies also don't do, you can see there how well machined it is that it has a centrifugal clutch brake on the other side. Now this brake is much better for adjusting to heavy baits. So I'm going to set this one to 3. The only reason I'm going to do that is because I have previously seen someone set it to 3 and it fixed any backlash problems. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one to 3, and what I'll be throwing on this will probably not be that heavy. I could probably actually back it off one, but this spool, even with that brake on it, it feels like you're not holding anything. So that's super light, and it is machined. It's not stamped, it is machined. Keep that from rolling off the table, and I will go ahead and try to take apart this other side plate. So you've got a screw in here, which is pretty standard. Most other reels do have one in there. So I'm going to tape the screw off the handle. Your retainer clip comes off. You'll want to keep all of this in order. My wrench for taking these apart should be in here. Oh, that wrench is way too small. There it is. All right. So we'll take the handle off. You'll want to unscrew the drag. And it will come off. Make sure nothing stays inside of it. You'll want to pull the drag brake off. And there are 2 washers underneath. Keep those just as they are. And now you can take the other screws out. So the reel I'm holding is a 7.0 to 1, which is kind of in between those 6.3 to 1s and those 7.3 to 1s, which is what the elites are. Alright, so now we should be able to pull this off. And we can. Like I said, this is a carbon outer plate, so it's also very light. It does have a, I believe it's a 7, yes, it is a 7 bearing system. So, let me get my pick here. I'm going to readjust the camera so that you guys can see the inside of this reel now. Alright, so now you guys can see the inside of this reel. I will try to So you can see the inside of this reel now. Now what's important, and from what I have found also, this gear here is normally brass. In this unit it is not. It is aluminum, and it's a very high grade aluminum. Here is a brass gear, which is standard in the industry. You have your, I'm not sure what all these are called, some people know the technical names for these, but this piece here is what engages when you push the button. This piece here is connected to the button. It's all metal. So this normally in many reels is plastic. I know in most of my Abu Garcia and Bass Pro Shops reels that I have ever taken apart, this is plastic. It's usually a thick piece of plastic, and it's usually connected to another piece of plastic in here, which is not there in this reel. The only piece of plastic are these two gears, which is standard to be plastic. They don't pull anything. All they do is move the line guide. There's no reason they need to be metal. They never have any pressure on them. And this piece here, which cannot be metal because of how it moves and what it does. I'm sure it could, but it would bind a lot. So when you guys go to thinking this is a cheap reel, it's not. It's actually a very, very well made reel, and I can back it up because I've had to work on many of mine where this piece here comes out. And it's only supported by a pin. Most of them are. This one is not supported by a pin right here. It's supported by a screw. So it moves, it slides on a screw. So it's not going to pop up. And a lot of times what will happen in other reels is this piece here will come loose. This gear can come loose. This can come loose. Your button comes loose, and now your button no longer works. Your reel no longer works. Your drag doesn't work. Nothing does until you tear this reel apart. You have to take all of this off, pop this piece back in, which is under tension by a spring, and then put all of this back together, which is a pain in the butt. In this reel, looking at this, there's no reason I should ever have to take this apart to service it. This is screwed in. All I gotta do is add a little grease to this plastic piece here where they slide, add a little grease maybe here, and add some oil to the gears, and that's it. Now another impressive part of this reel, which is not in most reels, I'm not going to take this off, but I'll lift it up enough to show you, is that this clutch here is carbon fiber. It is not plastic like some other reels. So what I'm trying to show you guys is this is an $80 reel, and it's built probably something like a $200 or $300 reel. I'm not crazy enough to spend $300 and $400 on an Abu Garcia reel that, you know, I may end up replacing every couple of years. This reel right here is 80 bucks, and it's definitely worth it because of all the metal components in it, how light it is. It has premium quality components. One thing that really amazed me, which I did not even know was going to come with this reel, was it has a brass insert line guide, which means that it's made to use with braid. This is not going to, your braid's not going to cut into this. So I'll put this back together. Alright, so my first impressions of this reel are pretty good. I like it a lot. So I'm going to put it on a rod and give it a try this weekend, and we'll see what happens. But I think this reel is going to work out pretty well, and I'll just have to take it out and try it out. I just went and bought some new line today to put on all my reels so that I'm ready for the next couple of tournaments, because May is going to be pretty heavy for us. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all later.